kind of where we hoped he'd be. He was able to, participate the last 2 days. We'll see how the ankle responds to, to today's practice, and hopefully he's okay. But it'd be shoot around, more of like a morning or shoot around decision. But he looked good today. He was almost a full participant in practice.
So do you bring him back with limitations, or will that also be decided tomorrow as to how he feels?
I mean, it's I don't think anyone's ever, 100%, this time of year. Obviously, we don't want it to linger, but you just see how he feels tomorrow.
How do you get Donovan to get him to stay in the court longer? Because he seems like he's a little frustrated with the fouls and everything.
Yeah, well, he's. I think everyone's frustrated that that he's in foul trouble, but he's got to he's got to play with better better technique, better discipline. Play a little smarter. I mean, he's still a young player. He should only pick up fouls contesting things at the rim. He's got to avoid the fouls by being out of position and having poor technique or lacking concentration.
Does he get fouls sometimes just because he's so big? I mean, I'm not trying to get in trouble, but seriously,
there's obviously he's been getting called for more fouls in the league. It hasn't been as big a problem for him in a non-conference. The fouls against St. John's, we watch him. He committed them. He deserved to be in foul trouble. I think in some other games, you go back and you look at some of the calls, and the Providence ones, obviously there was, you felt differently maybe about a couple of those.
Does Butler, what do you think about what they've done since the last time you guys played?
Yeah, look, you could play my quotes after the game. We were thrilled to win that game. We didn't think that they'd be an easy team to beat at all. Offensively, they're tremendous. Really, really hard to guard. And, like we said after we won that game, NCAA caliber team. These are, the less stressful, much more fun games to get ready to go play when you're playing a team that's won at Marquette, won at Creighton, on a roll, like really good team. Those are probably the games that give you less anxiety, even though they're easier to lose, but because you know that you're playing a big game versus a really good team that's had a great year.
Easier to get your team's attention when they have those kind of road wins under their belt?
Yeah, and I think it's not. I think it's easier, the human nature piece. These guys, remember that was a hard-fought game, and we're down 7 at the half, and had a great response to start the second half. Then got ourselves a lead, but then gave a bunch of it back. They cut it to 1, and we had to make some winning plays to win it. But we have to guard tomorrow. We can't play, a game with them of just like, you play offense, we play offense. We've got to show up with our identity.
Telfort played pretty well against you guys, but the last couple of games has really come alive. What have you seen from him?
He was. He's been on an unbelievable roll, and his performance at Creighton was, beyond impressive. Scary, really. Them overall as a group offensively to put those amount of points, go triple digits on Creighton, and we all know how good that defensive scheme is. But they had it rolling, and we've got to make them uncomfortable.
Dan, you've got so many potential first-round draft picks on this team. How do you deal with going for the day-to-day game stuff, but also preparing these guys for what you hope will be their future?
Yeah, I do it by not reading those, the bullshit mocks, because the only ones that are going to matter are going to be the ones, that occur post NCAA tournament, as the combine and those things approach. There's a lot of jockeying that goes on with a lot of different people in the basketball behind the scenes world with that stuff. We're all about and winning the next game and guys fulfilling their obligation to the team in terms of the role we need them to play. And then when the Wii season's over, we will participate fully in the me season with these guys in terms of draft stock and evaluating those things. But we don't recruit players based on promising the NBA. We recruit players based on we're going to teach you how to be a man, and we're going to teach you we're going to show you how to win and succeed. And with those things, the NBA will come and get you when it's time.
How surprised are you by the lack of ego on this team with all these guys?
Well, it goes back to the recruiting process. I think with the way that we recruit them, I guess the things that we talk about, how hard we work, our culture, winning, us coaching you hard, us getting the absolute most out of you. When that's how you recruit a player to come play for you, then it becomes easy for you to coach that player when you get them. I think the coaches that talk about the other things and sell those things and then try to coach the player hard once they get to you, I think that's where then you see the friction. The relationship is exactly what we say it's going to be, and we tell them before they get here it's going to be the hardest thing they ever do is to play for us because we're really demanding.
When you're talking to a recruit, what are the red flags then that jump up that you say, this is not one of our guys?
I mean, when we're at dinner and they're looking at their phone instead of listening to what we're talking about in terms of conversations. When they look bored watching our team work out, tells me they don't love the game the way we love the game. You watch them play, obviously, and just got to get a sense. For me, it's all about, do you love the game close to as much as we do? Are you a ruthless, competitive person that puts winning above everything else? And then what's your work ethic like? And then hopefully, you really don't know what the parents until you get them. Whether they're parents or fans, you just hope you get the type of parents that will trust you to do the job and support you in doing it.
You talk a lot about human nature with this team and how you sort of try to encourage them to stay together. So how do you find that balance, considering all the success that your team has had, and even for the young people, for the new guys that you have, finally getting them through this stretch?
I mean, for the special people, the very best people in any endeavor, it's never enough for them. I mean, it just is never enough. You could never succeed enough. You could never win enough. You could never play well enough. The goalposts are always moving in your mind, and that's the great thing about sports is you could reel off 10 in a row. You could be ranked #1. You're only as good as your last performance. And that's just the reality of the world that we're all participating in. So, we need to be at our very best tomorrow. I don't think that we've had a game this year where we've been, really hitting on all cylinders. Maybe the Xavier game to a degree, but that wasn't a perfect game. We didn't have everyone contributing at their very best.
Yeah, well, what has clicked with Steph the last few weeks? Particularly, I guess the St. John's game here, when he had that 0-6, is when he kind of turned it around. But what's clicked with him?
Yeah, I mean, just a young player with a lot of talent that is not being distracted by the things that cause freshmen to make their teams lose. Thinking about the NBA, thinking about, agent in one ear, delusional parent in the other. He's got great parents. He's got, I don't even know who his agent is, which is a good sign. And I know he has one, and I'm sorry when he hears that. Just shows up, practices hard, is getting better with every rep, is learning and growing. And I think he also has the good fortune of playing with several guys that won a national championship, and then a Cam Spencer, who's an really easy guy to play with, and he plays around players that all stand for the right things.
What about Jalen Stewart? How much more comfortable has he gotten? He's gotten more playing time.
He is, and he's gotten, and I probably, he probably deserves, 2 to 4 more, 2 to 4, maybe 5 more minutes a game. I think he's earned his place, and that's the best way to have it happen for you. Not to be gifted minutes, he's had to earn them and earn our respect and grow up and mature and get tougher. It's not a talent issue. It's a concentration issue. It's a physicality issue. It's a mental preparation issue, concentration, competitive will, those types of things. And he's getting there. And if he stays with us, he's gonna have his time where he's a leading man here.
Are there things that you look at right now and say our defense is ready for a challenge like they're going to face tomorrow?
Yeah, every game is different for us. Offensively, the things that we do causes us in literally every single game. We're seeing a completely different type of defense. Either, people are face guarding, grabbing, holding, switching 1 through 4 off ball, switching 1 through 4 on ball and off ball, switching 1 through 5 on ball only and off ball chasing. I mean, we're seeing zone matchups. We're seeing all types of defenses, generally where people don't play because of just all the answers that we have on offense. So from an offensive standpoint, just probably playing a cleaner game, avoiding those stretches where we don't score. Maybe running game for us. I thought we made a big statement about our rebounding the other day to do what we did on the glass versus St. John's, who's a great rebounding team. We answered some questions there in terms of our will on the backboard.
Defensively, you've held, I think, 6 straight teams under 70. What's kind of turned on defensively for you?
I mean, Donovan being back has definitely helped, but I think it started to turn a little bit before Donovan got back. I mean, the metrics tell us that that we've been the best defense in the country for the last, handful plus games here. So Steph too, what he's been able to do as an on-ball defender has been impressive. Donovan being back, we already had some pretty good defensive players. Cam's starting to maybe understand our schemes and what we do, which is different than what he's done in the past.
When Donovan gets in foul trouble, it doesn't help matters when Sampson also gets. And obviously it's been an issue for him.
No, we like that.
But does he have to, can he play, does he just play a little differently when he knows Donovan's in trouble? Or does he just have to be himself and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, you hope, again, I mean, you just want these guys to maybe avoid, the fouls that don't involve rim protection. Like if we could avoid those and some of it though, I was getting posted by Soriano and, a guy so big and so physical and, it's easier said than done to like break the contact and get around. So I think, obviously you got to avoid the dumb ones that both those guys are committing, that the non-rim protecting ones where it's just like, Sam had the bad one where, he poked the ball away in the ball screen defense, I think, versus Jenkins and kind of lost the ball. And then as he went up to shoot it, he reached in again. It's like, you made a good play one time versus one of the best guards we're going to play against. You're unlikely to get him again. So, it's just things like that.
Dan, your offense is notoriously complex, but have you been able to go even a little further this year? Is like Tristan going for his master's in Hurley this year?
Yeah, I think, we're evolving it because we haven't really had the team fully healthy out there together. So we've missed so many different pieces. Steph, now he's back, and obviously Donovan missing time, and now Alex. I just think we're looking to really hit our stride here in February and March. From an offensive standpoint and a defensive standpoint, cohesion, really trying to put it all together here in February and March and get it to the point where we could be efficient all over the court and avoid being vulnerable by having just limited holes in our attack.
Dan, Gino's going for his 1,200th win.
Oh shit!
That was my question. I mean, did you even fathom a number like that? 30 a year for 40 years.
What's that? What's he averaging? Like 39 wins a year or something?
30 a
what
year
is he
for 40
averaging? Like shit.
Well, 39 years would be like over 30 a year.
He's
for
getting
39
it
years.
3 years faster than Coach K, 6 years faster than Tara. I mean,
he's lost like how many players the last 2 years? And
he's got 5 out right now for the year.
He's winning like 90% of his games. Crazy, man. No way. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. Yeah. When you can't do this job with how complex it is today, obviously I read Coach Pitino's quotes, after the game, and it's never been harder to coach our sport with everything that's going on. So yeah, I mean, like it's. You got to be, this is like, you got to like, Yeah.
Even said.
Yeah. I'm nowhere near though,
No
guys.
clickbait.
I am at full energy, and I am on my shit 100% right now. And I just think that's what makes it so challenging. And you just got to be an incredible leader and coach these days, because there are so many. The college game has gotten complex, and I am not complaining. I love this type of work, and we still have an incredibly strong culture. Our culture's as strong as my cultures have ever been, even with all these things going on. So,
But do you soak things in from Gino? Are there things you take from him that you're like, wow, this is amazing, this guy?
yeah, I mean, my relationship with Coach Calhoun and Coach Gino, I'm going to continue to get better. I'm going to get better as a leader. I've learned a lot of leadership and tactics and psychology from both men and others I have in my life that I'm lucky to have. But I'm going to get better as I go here at UConn as a coach. That there's a lot of improvements I think that we're making as a staff, game to game, year to year. We're going to keep getting better because we're obsessed here.